Good morning. Today is July 22nd, Monday, July 22nd, 2024. And I just want to do an update on some of the plants in my garden. The first one I wanted to talk about was this one. This Wisconsin 55. I did a little video about the Wisconsin 55 a couple of weeks ago. You know, I was talking about how prolific that plant was, and the blossoms, and the way it was gonna. It just put on like 20, 30 tomatoes on right away, and then that was it. I mean, it pretty much put on those tomatoes, and then you know, that was kind of like the end of the blossoms. And when I looked at this package, it said that it's an indeterminate plant. I don't know if that's zooming in or not, but it says it's indeterminate. You see that? Probably not. Well, anyways, it says indeterminate. And boy, I'll tell you, I'll be a monkey's uncle if that's indeterminate. That looks like it's a determinate. You know, where it puts on all the fruit and then it stops. So I don't think I'm going to be getting the 200 tomatoes that I was bragging about a few weeks ago when I did the video about this Wisconsin 55. But I could be wrong. You know, I don't know. It just seems like everything just came to a halt. And the tomatoes starting to get red. This is one here, and I got one in the other garden, a little bit larger. But that's what's going on with this plant. You know, it produced all those clusters of tomatoes, and then that was it. You know, I think I picked off like maybe 2 or 3 of them, and they're ripening in the kitchen. So I'm not even sure how they taste, but that's what's going on with that plant. And you can see these, like the first 2 rows here I got are big boy tomato plants. And they're, you know, they're popping on the tomatoes pretty good here. They're getting pretty big. You know, pretty soon, I think I picked one off this morning, or was it 3? One this morning and a couple yesterday. And I gave it away to the neighbor because she likes BLTs. But yeah, you can see there, you know, it's producing a lot of clusters of tomatoes here. You know, some of these plants that's average 10 tomatoes on a plant. You know, 10 to 15. You can see how big these clusters are getting. Down here, this one here, I think this one's got quite a few on it. But yeah, they're really, yeah, these big boys are really pounding out the tomatoes, and they're looking very healthy. Very healthy. So the next tomato that I want to talk about was this one. The large red cherry. And that's what I have. There are 15 large red cherry tomatoes in the garden here, and boy, these things are really popping on. Okay, here it is, large red cherry tomato. But boy, these things are really, really putting on the clusters down here. Clusters of tomatoes. If you can see them, I picked I think about a dozen this morning for the neighbor, and they're already starting to ripen up. These other ones are starting to ripen up real quick, you know. But you can see it, you know, the clusters are just all the way up here. This plant here in the corner, this thing is like it's about 7 feet tall. And now I got it growing, you know, it went vertical, and now I got string going across here to this one, to this row. So now it's vertical, now it's going to be going horizontal, and that's what's going to happen with all these tomatoes. You know, they'll be going up over the string, and I'll have a string going from here to here, and this will be like a tunnel. This row here will be like a complete tunnel of tomatoes, and then they'll go from that row, and I'm going to tie a string to the next row, and that'll be a tunnel. So yeah, they're taking on pretty good this year. We had a lot of rain. A lot of rain. And here's check out the clusters on this cherry to me. This is the same thing here. It's a large red cherry. But look at all those tomatoes coming on there. You know. Yeah, the neighbors are going to be real happy. Really happy. And so that's the large red cherry. And then the next one is this one. The Rose de Berne. Okay, so there's 3 Rose de Berne plants, tomato plants in this garden and one in the other one. But boy, I tell you, this is a really nice plant here. I mean, a really nice tomato plant. I don't know if you can see all that cluster of tomatoes down there. I think there's like 4 tomatoes there, and here's another cluster of 4. You know, here's a cluster of 3 and 2 and 2, or no, 3 and 3. Here's another one growing up here, and it's the same thing on this plant. You know, got some nice big tomatoes coming in here, and it's loaded. Same thing with this one here. You know, but it's a very nice tomato, and well, I don't know. I haven't eaten one yet. This is the first year I'm growing them, but boy, I tell you, the plants look very, very healthy. Let's see what it says here once. On a Rose de Berne, it's indeterminate. It's the Swiss sandwich tomato. This Swiss sandwich tomato is so hardy that you can make an entire meal out of it. The apple-shaped tomato. Okay. The apple-shaped tomato has a beautiful pink hue. The tomato is an equivalent brandywine version in Europe. It's an early producer and popular for the farmer's market. Yeah, this this is really popping out the tomatoes. Like a big boy, you know, I'd say it's pretty similar here. You know, it's growing, you know, it grows different than a big boy. But, you know, it's popping out of tomatoes just like a big boy. And, let's see, what else is in here? Oh, you know, everybody's growing some San Marzanos or Romas, so that's what these are here. But I'm going to go on the other garden once. I want to show you something that I got. This, I grew two of these. It's can you see that? It's called a German pink tomato. Can you see that big red round German pink tomato? Well, let me show you what came up. I got these seeds from M.I. Gardener, and I'll stop over here once. Oh yeah, by the way, before I get over there, these pepper plants, these are Jimmy Nardello's over here on this side, and those are Aleppo peppers on this side. Those are hot ones, and those, for some reason, can you see how big those plants are? It's like they're twice the size of the ones that I planted in the ground over here. It's kind of odd. You know, look at these things almost look, these Jimmy Nardellos almost look puny compared to the ones in the pot. And this is in a Jimmy Nard. This is a red Marconi, and that's a giant red Marconi. The ones in the back. But yeah, for some reason the plants in the pot are really doing good. And I picked some of these hot peppers, and I strung them up. I put them, I ran a thread through the stems here, and I'm gonna dry. I got these drying out in the garage. I just put them up here to show you what they look like. But yeah, I took a whole bunch of these over to a block party we had, and nobody wanted it. Nobody was brave enough to try them. But I left them over there, and then I just picked these a few days ago. So yeah, that's going to hang up in the garage, and I'm going to dry them out, and then make pepper flakes out of them. Those are Aleppo peppers. So here's the tomato that I want to talk about. This. Okay, so I started these from seed. So it says it's German pink. Look at the shape of that fruit. Now, look at what came up. It's the most anemic looking plant. It looks I mean, it's healthy. But look at these wispy, dainty leaves on here and branches, and the shape of these tomatoes. They look like an ox heart tomato. Like, I don't know. It gets to that size and it kind of turns sort of round. I don't know what kind of. It definitely is not this. It's not gonna. I don't see how that's going to be like this anyway, It's not going to be round. It's a long, kind of like a pear-shaped tomato. And I had one. I picked one off of that plant over there. That's another German queen. And this, for some reason, this plant is the only plant that didn't. It's kind of like, you can just see it's wilty. It's been this way for like 2 weeks. It looks like it's dying, but I thought it was going to die, but it didn't. It keeps going. It's not really, making any blossoms up there. It's just kind of like stunted. Here's some. Oh wait. Oh yeah, it is. It's it's hard to believe it. It's such an anemic looking plant, But yeah, if anybody knows what this is, it's definitely not this. It's not a German pink. Here's what it says for German pink. It's indeterminate, brought to the U.S. by German Mennonite immigrants. The German pink tomato is known for its giant fruits, regularly weighing in and around 2 pounds. These medium acid, highly sweet tomatoes are a classic favorite among heirloom gardeners. And that is definitely not going to be I can't see that. How is that going to be a 2-pounder? I don't know. It's just, but yeah, if anybody knows what that is, let me know. Here this is a healthy plant, but boy, look at it. It looks so wispy. But yeah, otherwise, other than that, I kind of trimmed everything up, pruned everything up from the bottom here, and I added compost, big pile of compost at the base of all these plants. I haven't given it the fish fertilizer for a couple of weeks now. Well, here's the other Wisconsin 55. That's about where it was a couple of weeks ago, and it kind of stopped growing. The blossoms didn't come on there anymore, and it just what was on there a couple of weeks ago, now it's starting to ripen up. So that's to me that's more like a determinate plant. Even though the package here says it's indeterminate, it's, I don't know. First time I'm growing it, I'm gonna wait till one of those tomatoes gets ripe, and I'm gonna try it. It looks like a good tomato, but okay. Just thought I'd let everybody know where I was at here with the garden. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. Bye now.